When are you going to take... Ugh! Looks like a Spanish barbecue fight, doesn't it? The aftermath. Shut up. Right, get in here. We're in the studio. Welcome to the channel. Hello and welcome. Lock the door. Keep anybody out. Not that MD would get in here, but... Right, here we go. Get the light on. Yesterday the sun was shining in here. It was quite nice. So, been thinking about it. I've got my glasses. Wow. Need to blend that a bit in a bit. I think I'll just have to go over the whole thing again. Then it'll be the great reveal. Do the cutting out. So what do you need to do now? Go over it all again. Just do some detailing and then it's almost there. Then cut out. So let's get on with it. Let's not any further ado. So it's taking me all my time to find the friggin' image. I'm not this brilliant with that. Well, I'm going to moan, but I find it annoying using that laptop. Stop moaning! It's because you don't stop to think about what you're doing with a laptop. I don't have a great mind for where everything is in the laptop. You know, where is it? Where is everything? So I sort of bash around with it, and then I waste more time because I'm being so hashy with it. You know, sort of thing. So there's little details there's little details all the time, and there's one thing that I haven't put in any of the mini drawings is a little mini badge, Cooper badge in the grill there, and it's just, and little wee things like that. But I mean, at the end of the day, you know, it's sometimes if you're just working off a sort of vague photograph, you're not exactly seeing everything. So that's kind of why I want to do a more detailed drawing of the mini and the clock as well and the hotel, which will be a bit more time consuming. I was going to say challenging, but really what I mean is time consuming. So just sort of doing some highlights. There's a bit of greenness about that window. We'll get you know, that sort of, or blue, or just, you know, reflections of it. So we'll do a bit of, there's a bit of greenness in there. We'll do a bit of yellow just for a bit of interest. Obviously the reflections of foliage and all sorts. So, I mean, comes a time and point when we've reached it when we'll have to let go of this, take it out, and you know, because it comes to a point where you can't really improve it anymore. You know, you just, with pastels, that is. I mean, there is other mediums and they have different challenges. You know, so. I mean, this is like an overlaying process, and it won't actually be as bad as it looks. It'll sort of fade in once the spray goes on it and everything. You know, so. What's annoying me today? Oh well, I had this guy try to race bait me on the Sterling page. But we're talking about driving, how driving in this country's gone downhill, and I identified two issues. One is the government constant intervention and messing around with. So we're talking about Sterling, but I mean you could use this. You could talk about anywhere in the UK. But one is immigration, and and it's so I'm not. So obviously I was being this guy was sort of he was race baiting me, and he failed. But the fact and what I said to him was, look, if you get a country like India and look at statistics, right, of the deaths on the road, that will give you an indication as to how competent the drivers are, right? So he was sort of trying to, he was putting the sort of, he seems to be an African, this guy. I don't mind Africans, I don't mind people with different skin colour than me, I don't mind them at all, they're brilliant. But it doesn't mean you can sit there and fucking say things that are blatantly untrue, just because you've got an agenda going, because you're getting money from the government or something. So it's a kind of, so my brother-in-law, I used this point against him, my brother-in-law was a Pakistani, my sister's husband, back years ago. And he was from Pakistan, and he was well off. He was a psychiatrist. You know, they don't. I don't know if they really have a middle class there. And he got his license. He told me how he got his license. He got in the car, a Toyota. That's what they had in Karachi. Drove it forwards and backwards. Gave the guy a heap of rupees, and that was him. Passed his test. So, you know, that's what we're talking about. I'm not being a racist. I'm not. You know, it's like they seem to hide these people that they think they can hide behind this race thing. So I got quite hard on him, and I says, oh that. So he says, oh you can't really. How surely people, if they're legal, he didn't have a very strong argument. He's backed off anyway, but. And I says, oh, is that the same with the grooming gangs? That you can let off with bad behaviour because people are scared to tackle. It's true, it happens. But I'm not against the guy, I'm not against people from abroad, and I'm not saying they shouldn't come here. I'm just saying that the driving has went downhill because they don't have the same standards. Where do they come from? It's something you need to own. You know, you need to own things, not sort of go in denial and claim that everybody's a racist. Because you're going to do that with everything, and it means as a person you're not going to improve. And at some point or another, you know, it's going to, that attitude is going to fuck, you know, it's just like fucking farting into the wind, am I? So what's the driving standards in Stirling have I believe have gone down, and Edinburgh, and a lot of the taxi drivers are Uber drivers or whatever, and they don't give a shite. Just so this guy was saying because they're legal they must be good, and they don't get prosecuted, and I says, how do you know they don't get prosecuted? You know, so he's kind of he stopped talking to me now, but I'm not saying we shouldn't have immigration, I'm not saying that at all, right? But we're sort of paralysed in this country because we're British and we like to be polite about things. So unfortunately, obviously people are going to take advantage of that from different countries. They're going to come here and they're not going to adhere to our standards, because that's the whole really problem with having too much immigration. And that's happening, it's happened, obviously it's happened. And just because it doesn't mean you say that you can't accept that because you're not originally from here. You can accept that fact and you can stay here, be my guest, stay. It doesn't mean I want you to leave or anything, I'm just wanting you to be realistic about what you're talking about, stop talking shite. Because maybe it's a lot of, like, maybe your average white man wouldn't want to engage in an argument because he was a black guy, and so of course in a similar sort of. If you look at things in these terms, I've got this. I'm a minority, you know. So basically, it's all based. I know it's wrong. We shouldn't really do it, but it's all sort of based on your. It's almost like you get scored. Well, you do. You get scored on your equality and diversity situation. I know it's stupid, but it does happen. Aye, of course it does. Right. So, okay, enough of that. Stop going on about that. I don't think people want to hear about that shit. Okay. So let's move on. That's one thing I do find it difficult to change topic when I'm talking about things. So you might find that if you ever sort of had the misfortune of having to talk to me. It's very difficult to get out of it. And then I rethink things all the time as well. So you might think the conversation's over and I don't. I'm sort of going, it's a bit of a difficulty. Yeah, okay, so nobody wants to hear about that shite. Right, the mini, I think you're going to have to kind of say, right, I mean, right. Because you start, what happens, you start to go too far with it all, and you overdo everything. Right, so that's the mini. Right, what else have we got to look at here? The clock. Right, let's have a look. So we'll have a look at the. So, we'll probably do a bit more brown on the walls and tidy up the eaves a bit. And I'm going to be, the video will be ending in about 5 minutes, and I'll have to start again later because I'll do the cut out process later and unveiling because I'll get a phone call at 12 o'clock. I'll probably be getting a phone call, so when that happens we'll be going. Right, so what's the sort of blue, that's a wee bit like that sort of turquoise colour. You know, it's a bit like, it's more of a green. We could make it more of a green if you want. I mean, it's all kind of, I can please myself, you know, sort of thing. Right, so it's really blue. I don't think it is green. Let's do blue. And then it's obviously darker. It's done in this black there, which it isn't. It's dark. I think you're overdoing this really at the end of the day, and it's kind of like, you know, is it really going to matter that much? Yes, it is. It all matters. So we'll just do a line down the edge of it so it's defined. I suppose is the whole purpose of black. So I think I'm like a sort of liberal type, you know. I believe treat people equally. Doesn't so the sort of type of thing that guy was talking about this morning. Oh, you're going on about that again? I thought you said you weren't going to talk about it anymore. Well, what he was looking at was some kind of weird. It's a socialist thing, isn't it? So he's taking advantage of a socialist thing. He doesn't maybe necessarily believe it, and he certainly won't use it in his own country where he comes from. So I want to treat him equally. I don't want him to get special treatment. Is what I'm sort of saying. But he's actually talking about ignoring immigrants. So he's saying that they're not, that it's racist to claim that they're bad drivers, like immigrants. So you're picking on immigrants, but you're not. You're actually stating the fact that, you know, that their driving isn't as good as the driving in this country. Which you get into a whole load of different stuff there with that one, because you're getting into dangerous territory, in that you've got to like ask. You could ask certain questions why, and unfortunately you're not allowed to, because you're getting into what would be deemed to be racist. But in actual fact, you're talking science, because it's the same as a gender thing as well. Women, you can't really. There's things you can't say about women in sport and stuff, because you would be seen to be picking on women. It's also how, because they don't want to upset such a high percentage of the population. So people aren't really wanting truth. They don't want truth. It's really, the vast majority of people don't want it. No, they want bullshit to make themselves, to protect their situation. That's what they want. They don't want truth. No. Don't give them the truth. No, not truth. Truth isn't. Oh, that's going to be cut out there. So I don't know why you're doing that bit. I know it's a bit vague. I mean, you're doing something like this. It's not really about the hotel, is it? So you don't want to like have a hugely detailed drawing of a hotel, because that will detract from the actual the actual image. So I think we're getting there. We're doing it. I think I'm going to spray it. Probably, I can go over it and over it and over it, but I can see things that's not right and all the rest of it. But at some point, I've got to let it go. Yeah. So I think like Donald's obviously went a bit too far with some of the stuff as he does. The thing with the LGBT is it is a political ideology, so there isn't such a thing there isn't such a person as an LGBT person, it's a political ideology. So, but there are people that, so I think we can actually give people respect without having to capitulate to ideology. You sort of. So I think obviously Donald's went from one, he's gone in the opposite end. So it's a political rhetoric, isn't it? And I'm happy if he wants to have two genders. That's fine with me. It's not truthful and it's not true. It can't be true. It's factually incorrect under any measure. So what I'm going to do with that pipe, there's got to be three genders really, so anything else is not, you're not being truthful. But he's going for his political point, so fine. I'm not sure what to do with that pipe. I'm sort of bringing that pipe down there, and it's a bit weird, eh? Well, yeah, we can just sort of end it down there, eh? It's like, it looks like the pipe's ending at the bottom there. I wasn't wanting it to detract from the actual car. Okay, we're just going to be brave and just call it a day with this. I think so. What about that? Is that really white there, is it? Oh shite, see that white? It's bloody, it's got that bad that I can't fucking find it. Oh shit. Oh well. I think it's gone. Right, but we're going to spray this and just, is that it then? I think it looks like it. Oh, what? The white. Oh, there's another white there. I don't think that's quite white is what's bothering me. We'll just go over the white bits again. Because remember, they always dull down anyway. They always go dull with the... There's little gold bits in that clock. Let's go over them again. We'll make them sort of golder than what they actually are. So it's yellow really. Gold is yellow, isn't it? Oh, you know, I never actually quite got the bottom bit quite right. Ah, right, that's the thing we're going to have to do. That bit there. How's it looking alright? God, I don't know. I could try and find the picture of the base of that. To try and... When that was the drinking thing. And that was just the light reflecting on the corner. So I don't know if I could really... I should really probably... Or is that adequate? I mean, the drinking thing's never going to look right, is it? I mean, it looks weird. But it's supposed to look like, well, phallic sort of thing. Which would be the Patterson element of this. Patterson's a patronymic and everything. Patriarchal Christian name. Which it should be. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just sort of observing things. I think we'll just... Right, let's just spray that. It's not that bad, is it? Right. So we're going now. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe and we'll get you in the next video. Bye!